Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear, or favor. President of policy think tank Imani Africa, Franklin Cudjoe, has cautioned government against any move that could lead to the release of Sedina Tamakloe, insisting that she must fully serve her prison sentence. It said civil society actors will be closely monitoring development to ensure the convicted former official serves a jail term without reduction or intervention that could alter the court's decision. Could you argue that, unlike previous cases involving other individuals where charges discontinued, this matter should be handled strictly according to the law? He made this position known in a post on social media with a letter to the Attorney General. Please, no games with Sedina Tamakloe's final journey to jail. No nolly prosecution, no percentage reduction in the 10-year sentence, certainly no setting her for free. Sedina Tamakloe Ationu was convicted and sentenced in absentia by the High Court in April 2024. In July 2024, the government of Ghana submitted an extradition request to the United States for her transfer to serve her sentence. After more than 2 years of legal processes, U.S. authorities approved her surrender in January 2026. She arrived in Accra on Tuesday, June 9, 2026. Officials of the Ghana Police Service and the Ghana Prison Service have taken her into custody and are preparing arrangements for her to begin serving her sentence. So I want us to look at this also. So, background of who Sedina Tamakloe is. She's a businesswoman and a former politician. She served as the Chief Executive Officer of Maslock Microfinance and Small Loans Center from 2013 to 2017 under President Mahamat's NDC government. Her job was the Maslock job as a government agency that gives small loans to market women, traders, farmers, and artisans. She's been standing trial since 2019 with Maslock Heads of Programs Daniel Exim, the state charged with causing financial loss to the state according to Section 179A Clause 3 of the Criminal Offences Act, willfully causing financial loss to the state, Section 179A Clause 3A, conspiracy to commit crime, Contravention of Public Procurement Act. Between 2014 and 2016, about 93 million Ghana cedis of Maslow funds were allegedly disbursed without due process, and this includes loans given to people, companies without proper documentation or collateral, money meant for beneficiaries diverted to other users, procurement breaches, and buying vehicles for the agency. Now, current status as it stands now, the case has dragged in court for years, and there have been issues with her health, travel abroad for medical care, back and forth on bail conditions. She has pleaded not guilty to all the charges, no conviction yet, but the trial is still in progress. So legally, she is an accused person. Crime here means the charges the state brought, guilty is decided by the court. So, Sedina Tamakloe, who was a former CEO of Maslock during the NDC government, was being charged with causing financial loss to the state, and she was being sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. And after the sentence, this woman vanished from the country, and then we realized that they said she's not feeling well and that she has traveled out of the country for medical care and a whole lot of back and forth issue. Now, yesterday we woke up to a very good news at that, and we realized that the spokesperson of President John Dramani Mahama, Callistus Mahama, revealed that Sedina Tamakloe is back in Ghana here. Yes, and he's in a custody of the police. And a lot of people are calling on the government that they shouldn't allow this slide. You see, we've seen instances where state official causes financial loss to the state, and within a twinkle of an eye, they vanish. You see, there is this trend that all government officials follow. And I don't know whether you've realized that. Anytime a government appointee handles office and he or she is being accused of causing financial loss to the state, when the case gets to court, the next thing you hear is that their health is deteriorating, they're out of the country for healthcare. And sometimes it ends there. We don't get to hear anything about that. But sometimes too, we see them coming in here, they get here and nothing is equally done. So this time around, there's been a plea to the president that this woman is one of the people they've been looking for so many years now. And so with her coming in, it's a good news to everybody. But as it stands now, we don't know whether they will restart the whole process again. Or maybe she will have to go in and continue her sentence. Because if you read deeply into the law, if you're being sentenced in and you're not around, it's in a way means that maybe you've been sentenced to 5 years and then you traveled out like 2 years or whatever it is. It means the year keeps reducing. So if your case is represented to court, the court might pardon you and then forgo maybe those 2 years which you spend outside the country, and then you'll be jailed for the remaining 3 years. Or better still, the court will have to jail you for you to continue. No, you start the first sentence of your 5 years, and then you need to complete all the 5 years in jail. So this is what we are waiting for, because the information I had says when she landed in, she was being checked by the military and then taken over to the police. So they'll have to do some thorough check. Is her health condition okay? Is she pregnant? They have to do all those tests to be sure that she's mentally sane. I mean, she's fine. She's okay. There is nothing wrong with her health. There is nothing like pregnancy whatsoever it is. So she can be jailed. So all these are processes she will need to go through. And then we will have to decide whether the case should be represented again to the court, or maybe they will just continue for it to, they will just jail her to serve a 10-year sentence in jail. But people are more focused on she being jailed because it's nothing new. We've seen a lot of cases, a lot of instances where public officials loot from the state and nothing is equally done to them. And sometimes it's not, you might not be even found guilty. This is it. Like in the case of Ken Oforiatta, you just come in, sit down. We want to sit you down and ask you question. What happened? You handle the finances of this country. And this is what we realize. You've caused loss to the state regarding of this project, blah, blah, blah. Then we mention them one after the other. Talk to us. What went wrong? And you see, yesterday when the spokesperson of the president released, he released a statement, and it was in 4 points. It was in 4 points. And the tail end of the point has to do with the Attorney General going in to meet with officials in the United States that are in charge of security, extradition of people. And so they'll need to sit down and then talk things out very thoroughly. Because as it stands now, if Sedina Tamakloe is back here, then it means that the result that Ken Oforiatta can also be, how will I even put it, can also be extra dieted back in here in the country. So Attorney General will need to sit down with these people, talk things out, because they are also in need of a Abutrika, and we are in need of Ken Oforiatta. And so the only thing that everyone is focusing on is for these people to face the law when they are being found guilty. with this case of Sedina Tamakloe, she has already been sentenced. And then she absconded. But now she's back. And so what we are all looking for is that the law will take its course and then the right thing will be done. You see, when we do the right thing, it serves as deterrent. It serves as deterrent. And it also makes you very conscious if you're a public appointee. You are so conscious of yourself. You are conscious of whatsoever you are doing. Because you know, whatever you are doing, if you don't do it well, there is a day of reckoning. And when that day comes, you are going to stand in that box alone, yourself and your God. And you will need to explain why that happened, why money was diverted into that, why you took that out, without stating a reason why that money was being disbursed. You will be questioned. And so when we start using some people, some government officials as an scapegoat, then we've changed that status quo that people have in their head, that there is no way a political party will arrest a people of the other political party. When it happens that way, then I don't know I don't know the reason behind this that we are doing or we are putting across to fight corruption. Because these are things that we need to do. Sometimes you just have to forgo certain things. Like you just have to pretend as if you don't see certain things and then give out a very strict penalty. Because if you don't do that, then I don't think we can be able to fight corruption. We cannot. And I'm not sure we can hold these people accountable. And there is no way we can promote transparency. But all these things are key.